Global warming. Glaciers are melting. Lakes are drying up. Sea levels are rising. The signs of climate change are all around us. Seasons are changing. Summers are getting longer. Winters are getting shorter. There seems to be a storm of the century every couple of years now, and this is just our new reality. There are many causes of global warming, but I'm going to focus on two: emissions and agricultural. We know our emissions are out of control. If you compare our ppm level today, which is close to 400, while pre-industrial levels were only at 280, it shows that there's a ton of greenhouse gases that are just trapped in the atmosphere. These gases are what cause the heat to then get trapped as well. There are many sources of fuel that are cause global warming, but the two biggest ones are oil and coal. Even though, like I said, all fossil fuels do create emissions. The reason oil is so bad is because it's used at multiple levels. It's used for energy production as well as for transportation in the form of gasoline. In the forms of transportation of gas, like gasoline, that is one of the biggest causes of a single person's emissions every day. Coal just emits a lot of CO2, even though it's generally used for just energy consumption. When it comes to agricultural, it's a little different. The reason agricultural warming is so prevalent is because of our use of land. Livestock and the feed needed to sustain it takes up a large quantity of land that can not be used to take out CO2 from the atmosphere. Not only that, the land used for livestock and feed is also often drained of all of its nutrients because of the amount of grazing and intensive use for food that is needed. Deforestation is also a big problem because the forests are natural buffers against global warming, and as we cut down our trees, all the carbon that was stored is now re-released into the atmosphere. Not only that, they are often turned into farms, which then adds back to point one, carbon emissions back into the atmosphere. This cannot stand, and changes need to be made. Mikey Sherrill, as our Congresswoman for New Jersey, I hope that you can push for some of these changes. Some of the changes that I think need to happen are taxes on carbon emission products such as gasoline, oil, and coal. Also, on top of that, renewable energy should be subsidized so that the use of alternative energies can start to look more attractive financially. Deforestation must also stop, and to achieve this, we must raise the cost to such an extent that it's just not practical to build and farm in these locations. How you can do that is by not only taxing the process of clearing out the trees, but also create a tax that will calculate how much emissions could have been saved by the use of that land and how much you are emitting so that you get double taxed. This sounds harsh, but the only way for change is to affect your bottom dollar. Once it becomes more financially advantageous to use renewable energy as well as more sustainable patterns, a true change can start to take place. Until then, we are just digging ourselves a bigger and bigger hole. Mikey Sherrill, please do your part, for it may not affect you, but it will definitely affect your kids and your grandkids, as well as the rest of human civilization for years and years to come. Thank you.